And welcome back to the Osumania Long Note Tournament number 4. We are still in round of 64 for another match between two MWC players. Right now, Spanner Dude, also known as Ting Momentum, and pboo2424 on the other side. So that's going to be a bit of a seed gap, but it's still going to be a match. However, I've been informed that pboo is also scheduled right now for an MWC match, so it's going to be a little bit awkward going back and forth the tournament server and the main server. So we have a bit of a logistics conundrum right now that we're trying to sort out. But anyways, I'm Petraj. I'll be commentating with Youngin. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing great. I have been casting quite a bit of Mania matches, starting to get the deal, but hopefully this one will be as kind of smooth as like the ones that we just watch, because again, like Paradise mentioned, people will be switching from tournament server and this server, which I'm not too sure is he gonna be playing a lot for Thailand, because he hasn't played a single map in MWC, unfortunately, for his team. But that's what happens when you got such a strong team. Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, if people is just a backup and the other Thai players are fine playing MWC without them, I think it's gonna go fine. It's just that on the moment people was online, and I think the MWC referees just transferred people over onto the tournament server, which prevented people from joining this match, which is really funny actually. But anyways, Ting Momentum, well, I should say Squiddy. Squiddy actually won a role right now, so gets to protect first. Then let's see Squiddy's protector.
I do think Coordination 1 should be a very good target protect if they want to go for a target match against pboo. pboo is like a mechanics player, very strong at like identity type of stuff. So but Spanner Dude himself, it's more of a all-round player, but a very strong non-loop players in general, a very high accuracy on a lot of the maps, and I would say some of the more slower stuff that required a bit more of accuracy maintain rather than like a density maintain, like high BPM stuff. Slow maps, I would say is Spanner Dude's best bet. Even though he probably has a lot of advantage in this pools in general, but he's gonna be going against what I would mention and still gonna be protecting a density map against pboo.
Yeah, I think Spanner Dude, also known as Squiddy, is probably going to go for the sharpshooting strategy. They have really good roll accuracy, that is, and I think they can just utilize that against like just anyone really. So I wonder what pboo's strategy is going to be going for, sitting as the underdog here.
People, it's more like a high skill cap player from what I saw in the qualifiers. Actually, did the best on stage 7, so in the qualifiers. So probably something that high BPM in general, maybe something that they will protect. I would say some density free, maybe people's best shot, as he's more like a speed-ish player from what I saw. And not only that, I would say something like wildcard free, maybe something that people is also quite strong at.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly good point. Like knowing the map pool in and out, being as a map pooler, I would say like the hardest map in terms of like technicality and raw skill would be either like thermodynamics in terms of like sheer amount of things happening that can like drop combo and so on, or density number 3 actually is like the fastest in terms of BPM.
Yep, expected protect from people. What I expected from him as well. A very high speed mechanics player. I do believe something like density free and wildcard free should be something that they go for. Maybe something like technical free as well. Something that more required of the high burst oriented maps. Probably something that people would go for. And I think Spanner Dude probably gonna be banning on some of those if they are targeting pboo. Unless they don't want to target pboo and just want to ban something that they don't want to play, then I guess there's a lot of choice in this map pool.
Yeah, just gotta wonder what pboo is gonna do. Pboo doesn't even know what they're doing right now because, like, what do I ban against Squiddy? What do I ban against this man?
That's kind of rare from literally every other game mode that we see someone who is like kind of clueless, especially in a high caliber. But I guess that's what happens when it comes to stage like this. We're gonna be seeing Wildcard 2 being banned from pboo, so a bit more of a technical maps, a weirder map, and something that I would say expected. Something that is just weird or slow or pet or like snapping required maps would be something that pboo bans out. So the map that has been avoided, the Wildcard 2, will be gone for pboo.
Yeah, I think Wildcard 2 is, I would say, a reasonable ban going from someone who, like, Wildcard 2, like 92 is like a really weird map, like really unconventional, so you don't see that kind of map too much in tournaments, so it kind of makes sense that people may have some trouble on it, especially, like, Coordination 1 might also be the bane of raw skill players, not necessarily leaning towards raw skill at all, rather raw accuracy, like release accuracy. But the ban going from Squiddy is going to be Cat Chase, another pretty volatile map to be fair. So like I think like both of the most volatile maps are out of the way right now. Cat Chase and 92, kind of the jazzy element of the map pool gone away, unfortunately. Well, there's still one, Wildcard 1, but it's a lot more conventional.
Yep, and they're gonna go for Coordination 1, and I think that's absolutely the best pick from Spanner Dude. I already mentioned this map being a weird map, something that slow maps in general, because lower BPM, everyone hates to play them, and especially players who just focus on like high caliber, high DT, high mechanics players usually just absolutely hate playing slow maps in general. Doesn't matter what mode. I come from Taiko myself, and everyone absolutely hates playing the slow map in the pool, and this is the case again. And Spanner Dude being a high accuracy player, and I think this is absolutely the best pick they could target against pboo. Pboo not really known as like these other slower maps, and especially this map has been kind of avoided throughout the entire stage. I do believe only picked like 4 to 5 times so far out of all the matches. So finally, my first time seeing this map and see how slow to come in comparison to the other maps.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that Coordination 1 is not like picked more often, because it's like a very niche. It's like a very niche skill set, and I do feel like a fair amount of players do have this niche skill set. It's like, especially old school players like Squiddy.
Yeah, we'll see. This map is not dense at all, and I would say definitely not the skill of pboo. You can see pboo's accuracy already dipping down to 99.4%. Come from other mode, maybe there's a high accuracy, but in Mania, that's absolutely not something that you can afford from in the early stage here. Dropping a lot of accuracy, already 4,000 points difference in favor of Spanner Dude, and that's why I said this is absolutely the best pick from Spanner Dude.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see a lot of like late releases coming from pboo, unfortunately, and I think like the late releases is what like is dropping that accuracy down, but they are building that accuracy back up to 99.47 right now, just rising and rising. That 200 may put a hamper to that progress, however. Oh no, it's just going down and down as the releases go.
Yeah, very good score from Spanner Dude and very good target pick. I thought they were not going to do a target pick after I saw what they protect, but I guess they are doing that route, and absolutely the best pick to go for. 10,000 points difference, and that is a huge cap on a low density map especially.
Yeah, honestly, like Squiddy has been stable up to the 99.85 mark, like all the way through the map. So I expect like this is probably AV1 double. It's like even at OD8, that kind of shows their mastery of releases as a whole.
knowing this player, definitely the LN main player for the United Kingdom, and he's absolutely perfect in these type of skill sets. Just release, very strong at not only just the release in general, and really helps him in these technicality maps. And that's going to be a very safe first pawn here from Spanner Dude. Almost 20,000 points difference, and what a dominant start from him.
Okay, let's see if it's a V1SS. It is, and actually a bit more than a 110 ratio, like 168 out of 2,000 nodes. That's pretty decent. That's really decent. But pboo does know how to like keep the combo alive, as like probably one of the main liners of Thailand. Like just in case, probably for like late game situations. But this is not late game. This is early game. You know.
Unfortunate that you have a high skill cap, you have to still suffer through some of these slowest maps in the pool, and I think that's a very good target pick here from Spanner Dude. Now next pick from pboo, probably maps such as like density free, wildcard free, technical free, or even the more modern maps like coordination free would be something that pboo picks. But knowing this player being a very high speed caliber player, I think density free probably going to be the expected map from pick here from pboo.
Yeah, honestly, like pboo might be going from the bottom in terms of map pool placement. And I feel like Squid is gonna go from the top down, so it's kind of sandwiching the map pool in a way.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think coordination 2 is also another map that it's very well in favor towards Spanner Dude. Maybe not the case for coordination 3 because of how modern and regular and flowy that map is, but we'll see how pboo respond. And he is probably still getting used to this tournament system. Don't understand what is picked, don't understand what is banned, but you should be getting things smooth up. It's gonna be going for density 3 here, and like we mentioned, he's a very high speed player, and of course gonna going for the amazing map of the pool.
Amazing, indeed. Well, that is my own map. Yeah, I kind of picked this song choice for a reason. Like the entire reason this is in the pool is that it's 195 BPM. That's it.
You know, picking a map because of BPM is very fair. And coming from another mode as well, BPM is the most important thing to distinguish a map. So I can see why you just saw a BPM or 195. Oh, that seems good, and just put it in the pool. But yeah, that being said, the highest density, highest BPM. Fastest density map of the pool though, it does put more emphasis on some of the short LN's roles at the start, and I'll say both of these players are really strong in that caliber, but because pboo is more like extremely speed player, so I can understand why he decided to go for this map. At the start of the map though, we do see 99.9 start from Spanner Dude, a very high accuracy player as expected, and a very high ratio player as well, completely destroying this pick. pboo does do a bit better than last pick, but again, like I mentioned, he's not a high accuracy player, so a bit lower in that regard, and probably require a miss from Spanner Dude to come back. And this map ends in a short period of time. It's like a horse racing, it ends very quickly.
Yeah, honestly, Squiddy front running right now, and pboo kind of a little bit kind of biding their time right now. But the thing with late surges is that if you get gapped by the front runner, because the front runner is like 1200 speed or something, like you're just gonna get gapped in the end, and that's kind of what's happening right now as we're coming into the last third of the map.
Still not over just yet though, but I do believe that's going to be more than a run miss to come back from pboo. Not really benefit towards a lower star rating pool after all. pboo performs very well on the 7-star map in the quarterfinals, a 210 BPM map, but in this case 195, maybe a bit slower. He's still gonna FC as well, but that also meant that the opponent will do better because of less dense and Spanner dude, Squiddy, it's gonna do an absolutely fantastic job, ending with a 996,000 points. Also, pretty decent score here from People, but unfortunately, he's just going up against such a strong player in terms of accuracy, and he needs Spanner dude to find misses to have a chance to take a point.
Yeah, unfortunate 200 from Squiddy right here. Just putting a hamper to their otherwise really clean score. Could have been a 997, I feel like, without that 200, because it's a fairly short map, so like any 200 might put a big hamper on the score.
Yeah, very good. Very nice try here from People. I think that's one of their better picks after all. But unfortunately, you are on an early stage pool. You have to play some maps that required. You have to play some maps that required high act maintain. And Spanadude's gonna go for density too. Not what we expected as a pick here. Going for density right after people just picking the density map. It's Eurobeat time.
Oh, that's a banger, and I didn't quite expect like I think like both of the players might be going from the bottom, in terms of map pool. It's kind of interesting to see like Squiddy going from the top and then from the bottom, maybe alternating. I don't know what their vibe is, but I feel like, well, song choice does come into play in terms of picking, especially early game when you can just play everything and just like you have to let something just drive your choice, and song choice, well, is a valid reason.
Yeah, especially against a huge seat difference session, and not only just a huge seat difference, you know that the opponent is not an accuracy player and actually more benefit towards harder map pool. You can kind of just go with everything. It's like going up against a low accuracy player, and then on an early stage pool, and then players will be playing 4-star maps because they can play 7-star or above. But for now, we can see that this phenomenon is happening in this match here. A 99.9 once again from Spanner, a very clean start on his side, and people once again not doing too far behind because again being more like a density pick rather than your technical stuff. He is very well on very strong on detail of maps, but just not the accuracy.
Yeah, like density number 2 is a lot more like constant than just quote-unquote autopilotable for people, and I feel like people is like doing better than in previous pick, like 99.66, like kind of approaching the 99.7 territory, which would mean that people is definitely like capable of getting a 990k on this map pool.
It's gonna get a bit of a 200 on a low density session. That's what happens when it comes to speediest on, and it comes to a session there's nothing easy to trip up some of the players in terms of reading. A bit of a misjudgment on that session here, but not really mattering too much as Spanner are just quite far ahead in terms of score here.
Yeah, that's the thing with like flow theory and so on. Like when you get into the flow, it's like kind of easy to kind of just set your mind to a certain BPM. Like this, for example, like 185 BPM, you kind of just need to lock in your flow into that BPM, just kind of maintain the ratio as Squiddy is doing right now.
I'm absolutely amazed by players who can just quote-unquote autopilot maps like this. It's a non-mania player here. This just looks so complicated, and I don't understand how players are thinking that this is just a walk in the park. There's like both of these players, but again, Spanner will be winning by such a high accuracy advantage, 995k. Did drop a bit of a 200 over here compared to the other maps. Once again, absolutely monstrous ratio.
Yeah, like honestly, the demise of pboo right now is probably like the late releases that they are having. Maybe adjusting their skin could help in terms of like getting better accuracy, but it is up to them. We don't really know what skin players are adopting. We we just see the OMLN4 skin really here, but rest assured that the players do play with their own skin. They don't have to use the tournament skin to play this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely crazy start here from Spanadude, and people gonna go for the, I would say, kind of the speed route of the tournament. I feel like that's kind of like every low-ish accuracy player but high mechanics players route. CO free, no, actually density free, and then wildcard free, and then coordination free, and then technical free. It's all these formats, and they are going to be picking the second slot in the speed routes, going for wildcard free. The most similar towards the density slots, despite not being a density map.
Yeah, that's correct. Like this one is OD8. It's also like kind of dangerous if you're going from a physicality approach because you're going to be prone to dropping a fair amount of 200s, like people have been doing this this match really. But however, this map is also like 3 minutes long and it's fairly chokeable, especially in the bridge with all the shield interactions and so on. I do feel like combo breaks, especially early game, are going to hurt much more than just getting 200s.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a shield section right before the last chorus, so around the second solo, with a lot of shield, and we did see some players miss quite a bit in that part, and those misses could definitely occur from these players. People knowing as more of an FC player, probably risking for Spanadude to find a break on the shield here, but Spanadude, absolutely all-round player, probably not going to be dropping on those shield unless being less comfy about some of those patterning. You see how he does on this map. Seemingly like a pretty decent pick from people, but I do believe he needs Spanadude to drop at least a miss to take this.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't think like at this point the late releases are just gonna be there. People just has to live with those late releases. Just gonna focus on the combo and just hope that something happens to Squiddy.
We got a bit of a swing start at the start of the song, and both players FC through it, 99.86 versus 99.56. We're gonna be leading into some more density session. A slight density section right now with some coordinations elements.
Yeah, some release elements like some of those like staggers, some of those staggers are like really hard to kind of handle, especially like if you're not used to like release interactions. Both of the players do get the shield transition before the chorus here, and here we go into the chorus itself. Squiddy is gaining accuracy actually, just kind of stabilizing around the 99.9 mark, which is about 5,000 points ahead. Not that much, mind you. If a combo break happens, it's definitely going to steer towards pboo.
They possibly need to, or just like one dirty miss from Spanadude to bring this back up. pboo is kind of keeping Spanadude's toes. And now here comes the shield session that I was talking about. We have been seeing a lot of misses in this session with anyone finding a break, and people definitely hope Spanadude to find a break in this wing shield session if he wants a chance to come back. But no, he's just dropping accuracy. People just dropping more and more accuracy. It might need 2 misses now to come back.
Yeah, might need 2 misses to come back indeed, and the bridge is over. The choke fest is not going to happen for Squiddy, unfortunately. Just maintaining that accuracy, even gaining a little bit, going to 99.91 even.
That's absolutely insane. He's just not afraid of this map at all. That's what happens when it comes to accuracy player on even easier pool than the qualifiers. Absolutely smashing people out of the park here. Not much people could have done, and the lead might extend to 5 as the map goes on. We still have one more dance session left from the map, and might be running out of time for pboo.
Well,
might
that accuracy is pretty much still alive. Kind of going down a little bit for pboo, unfortunately. Just trending towards 99.5, which is still okay, but it's not gonna be enough against Squiddy's 99.9. Unfortunately, we're gonna see what the ratio is. Not quite getting the 99.9 at the end here, just getting some 300s here and there, but it is going to round up towards 99.9 in the end. 253, 300, so that's pretty decent.
That's crazy.
Yeah, shoutouts to Squiddy.
That's a non-mania player. I have no idea how people get ratio like this. Like, are you just a machine? Yeah, that's a inhuman play here from Spanner Dude. It's his pick, and he might close out this match with a sweep.
Yeah, just pick the best. Just pick the song you like the most, or something, or just gotta have fun with it.
Well,
oh, Phony is gonna be like Phony is a very similar kind of style of coordination as like quote unquote conventional tournaments like MWC or like other community tournaments. So it's like basically the token coordination pick.
I think this is a pretty kind and generous pick for Spanner Dude going up against people. I feel like he could have picked something that is more spite out of that player, but he's in such a leading position nowadays. Might as well just, like we mentioned before, take it for the song. I mean, it could be the case here. I did expect people to possibly pick this map later on anyway. But yeah, in such a huge leading position here from Spanner Dude, I'm gonna go for something that's probably a bit more chill or conventional, more fun to play with some players. I do not know it's more than equals to more fun to play, because players are more well suited to these type of maps.
Yeah, I do think like there's a fine line between like providing fun to the players and versus providing variety within a tournament map pool. Like especially in a LN focused tournament, it's kind of hard to kind of come up with subcategories in order to like provide full variety within a map pool, and that's what we kind of went through as map poolers. So coming up with different coordination picks that kind of play differently between one another is like a kind of its own challenge, I would say. Speaking of challenge, pboo definitely just coming as a late setter once again. Getting some of those late releases, sometimes early even, but yeah, those releases in this coordination pick are not easy to handle, especially like at OD 7.5.
I'll do the chorus now, and this is what we mentioned about more modern style of stuff. We did see some different snapping releases, and could be tricky to players fingering control, but still, pboo is kind of building back up accuracy after the not so clean start, and slowly stabilizing to around 99.5, but again, he's against such a rock of consistency from Spanner to 99.9 once again. It's basically 99 on almost every map in the pool so far, and he's not even missing, so not giving a chance to pboo at all.
Yeah, honestly, like the consistency of Squiddy, like right now, 99.9, that's the same accuracy as like the other like wildcard map, which was a lot much more straightforward in terms of snapping. It's just Squiddy just keeps getting the same accuracy on every single map, and that's kind of amazing. Kind of dropping a little bit of accuracy here as I say that. That's kind of a mini curse, but nothing too much to worry about, as the gap is pretty substantial between the two players, unfortunately.
Alright, so it's a curse though. If it's not gonna matter too much, probably need a even stronger curse to go up against the lead of Spanner Dude, but I don't think one miss would be enough for pboo. pboo needs more than one and probably two big drops from Spanner Dude to come back from this. But again, these are maps, these are conventional maps, maybe just too comfy to even drop a single note here from Spanner Dude.
Yeah, we are coming into the break and into the last chorus and the last quarter of the map. Looking into Squiddy's fifth and final point to close the match potentially. If nothing enormous happens, like 15,000 points in a pretty long map, I think it's like 3 minutes or so. It's going to be pretty challenging for pboo to sustain. Probably needs, I would say, 3 misses from Squiddy, unfortunately.
I don't think it will be enough because of how little time we have left, and that is going to be basically it. A few more misjudgment from pboo. It's going to seal the deal. It's going to be a nail in the coffin of the match. pboo will be dropping down to the losers bracket, and Spanner will be cleaning house, sweeping against pboo as expected as a lot higher seed. Very rough situation here for pboo after all, going up against such a high accuracy player on a pool that I would say completely not benefit towards him. But still, he put up a very strong fight. I mean, I've seen every single map in the match, but it's not gonna do much in such an accuracy economy here in Mania game mode after all. But he's still decent showing from him. A Spanner will be moving on forward to the round of 32 winners bracket.
Yeah, people is going to be moving into the losers bracket of round of 32, and I do believe as the map pools get harder, round of 32 is going to get harder and more physical. So maybe pboo does have a chance to upset their opponent in the losers bracket. That is, we're going to see who is going to be matched against. Well, okay, Squiddy is gonna be matching against Dark Mewtwo, and Dark Mewtwo and Squiddy do know each other because Dark Mewtwo is very well familiar with Squiddy's paragraphs of MWC predictions lately. So if Squiddy is as good on accuracy as they are good to providing those MWC prediction paragraphs, I feel like they are going on a good chance. But Dark Mewtwo is definitely a rising French challenger. If we can go into the losers bracket, however, who might...
Not Morsa.
Oh.
Malza. He will be going up against the Polish player Malza.
Oh, Malza. Oh, Malza versus pboo is actually going to be interesting. I feel like Malza, from what I saw in the match between Dark Mewtwo and Malza was kind of quote-unquote de-rusting their accuracy, so pboo might be catching them on good timing as the round of 32 map pool is going to be revealed tonight. I believe it's around 21 UTC, this showcase.
Do be here at 21 UTC because we're gonna have some very strong entertainment in terms of both the songs and the chart as well. So be sure to show up in 21 UTC. But of course, we still have matches left. The next hour at 12 UTC, we'll have Mini H23 versus Lea Kim. And on the other side, which probably gonna go unstreamed, will be Velos versus Osumania Gamer, or known as the Big Chungus. So a very interesting profile picture over there, and definitely do come back at 12 UTC to watch Miniac Princess Leia Kim in twitch.tv/Osumania Live. And thanks for casting with me, Parageese.
Yep, see you in 27 minutes roughly. Bye bye.